You grow ever stronger as I speak more than just the flesh. Aye, you are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon you, a dragon now on your shoulder. A glint in your eyes when I say the word Azure Dragoon that was simply not there when we spoke before and my voice sounded different. Though I must confess that my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand the mere thought that the eye would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, though more now than maybe before, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have, but I shall say no more, lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. You will recall how Haldrath heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into the possession of the Eye. Tell me, Meteor, do you believe these events truly transpired, or are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh besides we Ishgardians. Though I understand you have now slain some, and most would dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I, and Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the great worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. We should really be better at counting. It seems like something a census would handle. Let us revisit the past once more, Meteor. The time is 20 summers past. The place, Dravania. After a century of slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sky with their wings, much larger than the dragon that rides your shoulders. A deep, foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard, raging infernos painting the belly of the sky an angry red, the agonizing screams of innocents fading into deathly silence. In my station as Azure Dragoon, I was there through all of it, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a slight prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wing, so too did I pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed like an eternity before I found myself face to face with the great worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement of the edge of Guerthos, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights, with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it shouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I wagered all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet, before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh incinate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed. But Halone was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before the fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon. I was Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered through all the innocent lives that have been lost. The people I had failed to protect. That last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estinian is one of them. The sole survivor of Ferndale. The final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estinian as mine own son, instructing him in the way of the dragoon when he was of age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt at having failed him, but alas, I have also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen? Aye, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding his stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to waken once more. That his kin have already stirred from their slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Just look to the events you covered earlier this week. Fortunately, it would seem you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrop, where the Knight Husternin waits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Meteor, and now that you are ostracized here, you may fight like it is your nation as well. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. It's Dragoon time. That was all eventful based on yesterday. Huge. Monstrous. I wanted like a Guild Wars animated tale in the background. Alright. You are the one who would aspire to be Azure Dragoon. Why, you are not even of Ishgard. If you truly possess that Sir Albrecht sees in you, then prove it to me with your lance. On guard! What, did you summon a scorpion? Weird flex, but okay. That's a weird flex. I don't have any AoE, do I? Yeah, I don't think I have any AoE. This guy. Alright. I did it. You good? You believe me now? That strength. I have not seen its like since Estinian himself stood before me. Mayhap Sir Albrecht has the right of it after all. Return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he will be pleased. She's cute, but kind of rude. She gone. Yeah, I don't really understand what that quest was. That was kind of weird. He told an epic tale, and then he sent me off to a cavern. She made me fight a scorpion, and he goes, I don't know, I guess go back. Go back and talk to him, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want? What do you want from me? All right. Albrecht, huh? You have passed yet another trial with flying colors, Meteor. The day when you stand before Estinian as an equal is not far off. And when that day comes, the eye will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this. We must be patient still. For now, you must continue your training. When you do no more of your own, seek me out once more. How about right now? Is now good? I can do no more on my own. I need you right now. I'm ready. Well, I'm glad you did not want to wait, Meteor. A message arrived from Estinian, but moments ago. Much to my astonishment, he would trade words with us. It seems you two spoke yesterday, and he bids us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap. He may want to break bread. He may want to compare armor. He may want to just show off how much cooler his glamour is than yours. But we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. Man. Oh, look at that sweet, sweet AoE. Yes. He wants to compare lance girth. Well, I mean, yesterday he got to sate his lance for, like, hours. I mean, it was just sating his lance and just, you know, it was all about just, you know, really getting in there. So, I don't know what the big deal is. Oh, come on. What are you gonna do, buddy? Oh, God. Oh, no. Bye. How did you not die? Oh, and he's back. Oh my gosh, Meteor, I saw the craziest thing on my web here. I saw an ogre fall, like, hundreds of yalms, it seemed. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estinian, end this folly at once. You must know that each second the eye passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy just 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the eye, and return with me to Ishgard before it's too late. But it's already too late, Master, for you see, Nidhogg has already awakened. Your companion knows this from not but one day ago. What? Yes. You see, hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Yes, even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irresponsible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. The rancor will send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. Yesterday there was a large battle on a bridge where there was steps of faith taken. But there is a possible solution. Were the eye taken to a remote land, far from the holy sea, then, and only then, could destruction be averted and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to take the bait of yourself? Nay. Nay, that is not a good idea. There is more than this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than any else. It is for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men, and do not soon forget the wrongs done to them. What grudge they harbor burns as a fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When he last darkened our skies, the great worm within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard, not short of death, will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nidhogg took everything from me. Now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing 2 Azure Dragoons in 1 generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. To sate lances as one. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power. I, the power of the Dragoon. Allow your lance and my lance to sate together. In long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have 2 Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the Great Worm to eternal slumber. Behold my armor. It is so good looking. This is Drakenmail, forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. Everybody knows that glamour doubles your damage, and if you can prove otherwise, it is because you are using an abacus, and I shall have you smote down by the very gods themselves. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. You must look like I look, as cool or cooler. Clad so, you will inherit the techniques passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon, down through the generations, looking fantastic, lying on the floor of boss fights everywhere. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. Until you have stood where I stand now and leapt off of such a precipice, only to fall to your death. Yes, well, you cannot be me. But as you do such things, you must win the Drakenmail as I and Sir Alberic did before you. By proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it as he learns to harness the power of the dragon and fool.
Justinian. Wait.
No, save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. I have been looking everywhere for a hair tie that is under 10,000 gil. Maybe one day I will find one. Alright. This got epic. Double dragon. Let's do this. Let's do this. Alright. Please, adventurer, touch your lance to mine. Tip to tip. Allow their full erect length to touch. See their girths tremble as we prepare to sate them within dragons. This is the power of a dragoon. Justinian is not frustrated at all. I am not lonely. I don't want to talk about it.
Justinian.
Forgive me. I was deep in thought. Now then, as to acquiring the armor of which Justinian spoke, at first it was my intention to bequeath my own armor to you. I am an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It would be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training right here and now. But it is as Estinian said. The armor is untrainable and market prohibited. The Draken armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragoon blood from whence it came. The blood's power resonating with the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon mine own armor's power, its bond to me was forged years ago. And once spirit bonding has begun, were I try to bestow it on you, I fear it would not even make it into an agreement, a window of trade. It would be but a scintilla of protection it afforded me in those bygone days. I, Estinian, has the right of it. You must claim your armor as he and I did before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure, that the powers of the dragon be yours and yours alone. The ogre's belly is to be where your final test begins. I shall dispatch Sir Brucemont there. Seek him out upon your arrival.